This was a proper tackle from the son of a former New Zealand rugby player, John Mitchell. Daryl Mitchell, with this magnificent 100, has levelled the series as teams will head into the third one in Indore. This was quite a finish from Daryl Mitchell. Not just the manner in which that winning shot was played, but throughout his attitude, his demeanour in this innings. He went after India's key spinner Kuldeep Yadav, 131 not out. It was something that reminded us of that World Cup semi-final as well. Superb knock that, helping New Zealand win this game by 7 wickets with 15 balls to spare. We always knew, Joy and Zach, that Mitchell would be the key man, and he lived up to the billing.
Well, that partnership was just superb, isn't it? Took India out of the game completely, and Daryl Mitchell, I think 20 overs, they were what, 80, 82 runs?
82 for 2.
For 2, and spinners come on.
Yeah.
And the way he showed intent against the spinners was the defining moment of the game. I think that Kuldeep's first over of this match, and Daryl Mitchell taking him on was setting the tone for what was coming. And from then on, I think there was just no looking back. Maybe a bit more of a fielding support from Indian fielders, if at all. But when you're talking about just the batting and the run chase, I think these two just took the game away from Indian team.
Yes, just that one minor blip was dropped when he was on 80, dropped by Prasidh Krishna. But then that apart, there was no other glitch in this knock. He just went about it so clinically, Daryl.
Yeah, I mean, one of the strengths of Daryl Mitchell is that he can really tonk the spinners straight over their heads. He has that ability to hit straight, and once you hit straight, and the bowler gets hit once or twice, then their lengths shorten, and then the rest of the field opens up to you. And Daryl Mitchell is very, very good at doing that when he's playing at his best. But I think what Zach has said is very important. It is not just a question of what Daryl Mitchell did. It's not as if the bowling that Kuldeep did was very different. It is that on the very first over, he was prepared to step forward and take the chance and hit Kuldeep over his head. So he's sending a message. He took a chance. They decided that he's going to take Kuldeep on, and that plan succeeded. And moment they derailed Kuldeep, that middle overs, I mean, what Jadeja can be in conditions like this is Jadeja can be efficient. He can be good economy. But he's not your breakthrough bowler. And once they neutralized Kuldeep, I think then the rest of it was easy.
Kuldeep Yadav came into bowl in the 21st over, 14 of that over, 1-6, pick 6 over cow corner, and then that paddle sweep as well. Clearly, it was part of their plan to attack India's primary spinner. Because once that goes off, no Bumrah, the captains then left searching for other options.
Look, whether it was decided a pre-run chase or not, that is something which only the New Zealand camp will be able to answer. But they were behind in the game till then. The Indian seamers have really started the defense very well. They kept things very tight. They got a couple of wickets as well. And that was the reason Shubman prolonged with the seamers as well. Just 4 seamers bowling at that stage, bringing in Nitish as well. It was all working in India's favour till then, because you knew that New Zealand is falling behind the 8 ball. And from then on, it was just for them to counter at some stage. But what Mitchell did smartly and proactively was that he didn't wait for Kuldeep to settle in. He just made the announcement loud and clear that, okay, spinners, we're not going to take it sitting back. We're not going to give enough of luxury of getting yourself in the rhythm. We're just going to apply the pressure right from the word go. And in that plan, they succeeded.
67 runs between the 21st and the 30th. That's when they went after the spinners. But I suppose it's another lesson for all of us who are viewers of ODI cricket, that even if you start slowly, this format allows you the time to come back, even when you're chasing 280 plus.
Absolutely. And see, that's what I'm saying. 284 in today's day of ODI cricket is not that big a total. Today we have 330s and 350s. So 284 is a decent total. And it was very decent when we got them to at 4 on over 20. It's still decent. I think that just the way that they tackled the spinners, that was a crucial part of the game. And I think that's the one thing that they'd look at, that perhaps once that happened, we didn't, perhaps if you can look at anything of what Shubman did, was perhaps he didn't try. Like Siraj, he could have, he bowled in the 17th, I think, then in the 37th. Perhaps he could have come in with a couple of overs of Siraj because he's your wicket-taking bowler. See something is happening, because clearly things were not going according to plan for India.
But Daryl Mitchell just putting out all the shots in his book. He hit 100 against India in that big World Cup semi-final as well. They were chasing, I think, almost 390, 400 or whatever that was. They came very close, but this was Daryl Mitchell once again. He loves every corner of the dial, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, what's impressive is look at those runs scored in front of covers and mid-wicket.
Yeah.
That's a solid area for him. So he looks to take on the game. He looks to hit up on the bounce. That is something which has been his strength for fast bowlers. Over his head is the areas which he targets. But for spinners, he will use his feet as well, and then look to use the sweep and the scoop sweep which he plays. Kind of makes it difficult for bowlers to adjust their length.
Yeah.
So if you give the flight and Kuldeep, which that's what Kuldeep was trying, isn't it? To stick to his strength, which is flighting the ball. But then he used his feet. After that, he didn't use it that much, but made sure that he's playing that sweep shot effectively. So I think once you're in as a batter, you are also going with the rhythm of the game and makes it difficult. But both, I think, Daryl Mitchell and Will Young, that partnership, the intensity which was set in the first 20 overs, it was becoming difficult for the team to sustain because of this solid partnership, which really really disheartened all the bowlers, because you try different things and you then get frustrated, you get desperate to break that partnership, and the fielding doesn't support at that time. So I think it was just having a cascading effect when you're looking at things not going your way when you're defending a total.
The reason this is a special knock is that it has given New Zealand their first win in ODI cricket against India in India after 8 consecutive losses. So they've been able to break that series of losses against India. This just seemed like a very chanceless sort of partnership between Will Young and Mitchell. India just didn't seem to have a chance. Did India give you the impression that they were sort of waiting for things to happen instead of somehow making...
Look, I think, Kuldeep did whatever he could, and he was absolutely right. Normally what happens is when bowlers get hit, they sort of increase their pace so that the ball just comes and darts in. But Kuldeep actually slowed it. He was tempting the batter. He was he was still holding his nerve. They just batted very well, and the one chance they got, Prasidh put it down. And just the ball before that, Ravindra Jadeja was probably one of India's best fielders, missed a direct hit, both of which could have changed the game. So at that point, Daryl Mitchell is on 80. He gets out. Another wicket falls. You don't know what happens. Then things could have been very different. Remember, that time the asking is still over 6.
126 of 18 overs of spin from India. Nitish Reddy, who was brought in for Washington Sundar, surprisingly, Zach bowled only 2 overs, and Siraj doesn't even end up finishing his full quota. So clearly, Shubman Gill, perhaps his plans didn't work, or did he go wrong with his plans? What happened?
I think it was just a solid batting partnership between Will Young and Daryl Mitchell. I think one thing which Indian team will have to look at is that when the partnership is happening, how can you sustain that intensity which you are talking about? Then these are the moments, when you want a brilliant effort in the field or a brilliant catch in the field, someone putting the hand up and creating that opportunity for the team. In today's case, the opportunity was created, but fielding was not supporting that opportunity and couldn't close those moments. Will Young getting out, Siraj getting a decision in his favor but being overturned by DRS. These are the kind of situations which create that panic and suddenly things change. So I think, when you have a partnership of 150 plus, obviously it makes it very hard for the fielding team to sustain. But good teams, they find a way. And India is right up there, in terms of putting those kind of performances. So it's just a reminder of sorts in that sense. To have it noted down and then say that, okay, next time you are in this kind of situation, forget the result. Result can go either way, but what you want to see is that the desperation of creating that opportunity for the team.
One of India's striking weapons, Kuldeep, had a bad day, right? You saw him being clobbered right from the first over. In the absence of Bumrah, who is Shubman Gill's strike option? It has to be Siraj. He was missing for about 20 overs, I thought.
Yeah, it has to be Siraj. Actually, I was just thinking about it and saying the only other person who might have had a good day here, might not, he's not here, is Varun Chakravarti.
Not in the
because
squad.
his bowling, obviously they're preserving him for the T20
Sure,
World Cup.
sure.
They don't want him to be injured and all this period. But yeah, that perhaps that third spinner might have made a difference today because they used only 2 overs of Nitish. So that means their belief on the third seamer was not that much. They didn't sort of want to give him more than not third, fourth seamer actually, if you look at it that way, because Prasidh, Harshit and Siraj were there. Their fourth seamer they didn't depend on.
We didn't see any due as such. Not sure if there was any. And as you said, Kuldeep tried everything he could. It can be attributed as just one of those days where things didn't come off, or credit where it's due. Daryl Mitchell and William just batted brilliantly.
See, when you're analyzing the whole match, you got to analyze it in how things have evolved, right? So you managed to score 285. You know that, okay, top order, someone contributing, you might have ended up scoring 300, 315 or so. When you're defending, what you wanted to set the tone with the new ball, you did it. I think the power play of 10 overs, New Zealand were what, 34, 38?
34
Yeah.
for 1.
I mean, that's as good as it can get.
Yeah, they needed 250 in 40 overs.
Exactly. When you're defending 285, you got to build that pressure. You got to start well. You got to set that tone. Indian bowlers managed to do that. Till 20 overs, the next block of 10 overs, they progressed it well. I think it's just the counter of and the partnership of Daryl Mitchell. Some good batting. It takes a lot of heart for someone to just step out and hit it right from the word go, not let the bowler settle in, because that was the only chance they had at that stage. Right. If Kuldeep and Jadeja would have gotten into the rhythm of things in the next block, New Zealand was going to find it very, very challenging from then on. But it worked in their favor. Now then, you look at, okay, tactically what you could have done differently. You would have brought in the seamers. Yeah, which seamer to bring in is debatable. But India did try doing that.
With Prasidh and
Then
Arshdeep.
and then comes the fielding aspect of things, isn't it? So 15 overs to go, you still have chance. 36 over, a catch gets dropped. Will Young gets out, but the guy who's been batting well continues to dominate and finishes the game. So there's nothing much you can do apart from the fact which I said, that it's just about finding way of controlling what you can control in these kind of situations, which is keeping the intensity going and someone really trying something out of the box to break the partnership and create that situation. From there you can rebuild.
Most fans who, in hindsight, might say, if only we had played Arshdeep in this game. Were you a bit surprised that he hasn't been played in this one and the last one?
Look, there has to be, and this is something which the team management and the think tank, which is actually building towards the big tournament, which will be, say, a year and a half down the line. Arshdeep to me is someone who's been very consistent. Will be part of the things, a scheme of things for sure. There's no doubt about it. It's also the time where you have to give opportunities, find the people, and I think Prasidh from that point of view is getting these opportunities to have those options going forward.
Yeah.
I think Arshdeep, when you're looking at the World Cup, I have no doubt that he's going to be there. Siraj is someone who's been consistent. Harshit is turning out to be a good asset which can be built, has the potential of contributing with the bat as well. He's getting that length up. It's the game time which is going to help you get better at your skills and doing things under pressure. Bumrah is going to come back, so obviously he's going to lead the pack. You have enough spin options which you can work with. So on the whole, I think this is just a trial and error as well. So from that point of view, I think Arshdeep is out, at least in my view.
Sure.
But I hope it's not a long-term thing which the Indian team is thinking.
Joy, are we in an era where most countries at this level are looking at themselves, their plans from big event to big event, and they're okay to not lose, but they're okay to perhaps take more risks with their selections in these relatively less consequential bilateral series?
I'm glad you brought it up because I agree. I totally agree. I feel the most successful cricket nations, whether it's Australia, England, India, they are picking and choosing the tournaments. The smaller tournaments they're looking as testing grounds because they have strong enough, B teams and C teams, and there's enough depth out there to allow them to continue playing. I think maybe Bangladesh will have a very different point of view of when they play, or Afghanistan might, where the total pool of players is not that much. But all the others, I feel, definitely are preserving because, see, there's one reality, and actually India does not face that reality as much as other countries like New Zealand do, which is there are players who are playing 150, 200 days a year because they're playing so many other international tournaments as well.
Yeah.
Indian players only play in the IPL as a T20 league. These guys play all around the globe. So teams are forced to say that, okay, I can pick on those players only when a World Cup is there or a big tournament is there or an Ashes is there or something is there. The rest of the time, they are also looking and saying, okay, this guy is going to be out playing some sort of professional cricket. What can I get? And I think it's forced them to look beyond. At one time, used to have, test and one-day squads, which were 15, 18 member. And I think now what's happened is it's a 25, 26 member sort of group of people who you're looking at saying, I need to keep all 30 in my view because these guys might not be there. The second part of it is that players are getting injured more often because they're playing much more. So you're getting injury, you're getting less recovery time. So again, the need for a larger pool of players becomes more and more important. And I think all countries, all the big countries, all the big cricketing countries are seeing this.
The fact that there are 3 formats now and equally big commercially, at least for India, the approach is different because I can't imagine a Kapil Dev or a Jabal Srinath or a Zaheer Khan being rested for a bilateral in the 2 format days, in the pre-T20 days, right? Because Bumrah is not playing, there's a reason why he isn't playing, being rested for a big World Cup coming up. So having
Absolutely,
an extra format makes
this is all part of the planning, isn't it? You got to identify and mark these tournaments. Okay, these are the tournaments which are important for us. You need your best team going into this tournament. How the players can be in best shape physically, mentally, and ready to go to perform, and then give yourself the best chance of winning the tournament. So that's how the planning should be. I think it's to me, if you ask me, and plenty of times I've been asked, and my answer remains the same, that workload management and how you want to see you play the game is something which is completely individual lookout. For me, more you play, better you're going to get. Better equipped you are to deal with different situations. Yes, if your body is not allowing, then you need those breaks. But other than that, I think it's just about staying in tune, staying with the rhythm of the game. And if you are able to do that, then all these problems are non-issues as far as I'm concerned. But the part of planning and opportunities, like I mentioned, if you want to groom certain players, then these are the windows of opportunities you get, which you must encash on and must give them that game time for, and that testing period as well, for them to be put in the situation and let them react for them to get better.
And therefore, in a sense, the message or the learning for cricket fans watching should be to not feel too disappointed by just looking at the scorecard, because it's a very layered set of decisions that are being taken with one eye into the future and on talent availability and a lot of other factors as well that come into play.
Absolutely. I think you have to look at it saying, is India playing their best team out here? And the question is, no, they aren't. Their players Bumrah is being rested. Lots of players are being rested.
Yeah. No Hardik.
No Hardik. There are lots of players being rested because we need to preserve these players. So we need to be aware of that. But look, if you're good enough to play for India, you assume you're at a particular level, you should be able to get the job done. I think just today there was an exceptional performance from New Zealand, and they counter-punched, as they say, after that 20th over. And I thought that counter-punch was successful. The one little chance that we had in the game, we let it slip with that dropped catch and the drawn out. And that was it. But I think bilateral now is also a position where you're looking at players in very different ways. It's not just looking at the result. You're saying, how much is this player matured? How much am I getting out of this player? Where is this player standing? Those are the kind of things you're also looking at.
Right. Big win for New Zealand. They've come here to India with a depleted squad, but this win certainly augurs well for them. The series is locked at 1 apiece. The third and final game to be played at the Holkar Stadium in Indore on the 18th. It'll be a fun Sunday for supporters and fans of both teams. Big positive boost for New Zealand going into that third game. Their spinners bowl well. Is there any other little tweak that you see that needs to be made, or go with the 11 that they went with in the second game?
I think both the teams, when you're looking at both the teams right now in this game, they went in with one change each.
Yep.
And I think the next game you'll see none changes from both sides.
Okay, so nothing for New Zealand. Clearly, everything's gone well for them. But India, perhaps Arshdeep in? If yes, for who?
That's the point.
Prasidh had a good game today, at least with the ball he did.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. See, the only experiment that didn't really work for me was Nitish Reddy, but because he got only 2 overs. But I mean, the only option for him is then you're looking at Ayush Budhoni and saying that will Ayush Budhoni give me more than 2 overs or 3 overs? And is he a better bat? I mean, that's basically the option. Do I need another spin option?
There is no other option except Badoni.
So the only other spin option that you're throwing out here is Ayush Budhoni. And will they look at that option or not is something, but it's a very likely chance that they'll go with the same unit.
Arshdeep, for you?
I think they will go and change is what my sense is right now. If you ask my personal opinion, then yes, but he should have been part of the whole series rather than just being one game. I think they were looking at testing few players as well, and I know Prasidh is someone who's been getting those opportunities.
Yeah.
And Harshit is someone they are looking to mold him into a role of a bowler who can bat as well. So from that point of view, they want to give him more game time. When looking at Arshdeep, he's been playing consistently the T20s with 50 overs as well. He's been proving himself time and again. He's someone who's I think will definitely do a job, adds that variation as well of left armour, swings the ball nicely. So I think when you're looking at long term view, then he's definitely going to be around. But when you're talking about the next game, I think they will go in with the same playing 11.
India started the series as overwhelming favourites. At this stage, though, New Zealand have got to tell themselves that, hang on, we just one win away from beating India in India, which hasn't ever happened.
Well, 2 fantastic ODIs we've witnessed, isn't it? The game going down till the last overs, which is a good sign, and you've seen New Zealand always putting up a great fight, when they play against India. They bring out their A++ game.
Absolutely. And they always give us trouble. Yeah, absolutely. And they're the number 2 ranked team in the world.
Yeah.
As of now, New Zealand is the number 2 ranked ODI team in the world. We are one there too. So look, this is actually, if you think about it, a clash of the top 2 ODI sides in the world right now.
Yeah. In the second game, 23 overs of spin, conceded less than 90, and they still have another spin option in Aditya Ashok, who was left out, and Lennox was brought in with Glenn Phillips giving you overs as well. Michael Bracewell bowls as well. There is clearly no case for an Aditya Ashok to come in, or is there? If yes, how?
Look, when you're
Clark got the wickets today. Jameson and his partner bowled very well as well today. So,
see, Indore as a venue has been known for a smallish ground. So bowlers are usually under pressure there. So adding to that, I think what New Zealand did today was a smart change. The tactical move of leaving Aditya and bringing in Lennox for his left arm spin, giving them a bit more control.
Yeah.
When you looking at this Indian batting lineup, there are a lot of right hand options. So that is something which is always going to work in their favor. So I think the New Zealand team, when they're looking at going into the decider, they'll keep things simple, I think.
Right. Very quickly, players to watch out for, one each.
Look, for me, in this, when there's an ODI on, it's either going to be Rohit or Kohli. I'll pick Rohit.
Rohit for you, Kohli. Okay, one each. That's okay. New Zealand now.
Look, for New Zealand, I think Kyle Jamieson, the way he bowled in the first spell today.
Nice.
And the first ODI as well.
Yeah.
He's been consistent with hitting the areas, getting that extra bounce. So I think it's always going to be a good battle to see how Rohit and Shubman tackle him with the new ball. So I think for New Zealand, Kyle Jamieson.
I'll go with Bracewell because I think Bracewell is critical to them. He got us just 34 runs going at 3.4 in the conditions when the team has gone at 285. I thought he bowled spectacularly.
All right, just enough time for us to now tell you the answer to Joy Factors are all yours.
Absolutely. It's an interesting one because this was a period in time where it is all about the great Sachin Tendulkar, 2006, 2007. dominant player, but he got very, very close to getting hundreds. He was thrice out on 1999. Owen Morgan was the one who got out in 99 just before him. I think Owen Morgan was run out on 99, which is even worse. And JP Dumini was the one just after. But there were 3 times where Sachin Tendulkar was dismissed for 99 in ODIs.
Yeah, he once famously featured on a TV program called That 90s Show,
Which you edited.
which I worked on.
Which you produced.
I just wish I didn't have to, because we wanted to see Sachin score more and more hundreds. But only one guy or one girl can be announced the winner. Who's the lucky one? That's part of Joy's fan army. Raghavan. Well done.
I thought he was busy directing 21 or something.
Okay, sir, picture release. Right, we're done for the day. It's been a fun midweek. Unfortunately, ended up in a loss for India. But the decider will come to you on the 18th, and Cricbuzz Live will be back at 1 p.m. on Sunday.